love it if you could talk about your experience with prototyping.
Yes, I love prototyping. It is the bee's knees, because it gets to be fun. Like if you're not having a little fun with prototyping, let yourself have a little fun. Because there's so many ways that you can do prototyping that are extremely creative. Especially low fidelity prototyping when you're just trying to figure out like what's this idea, where you're concept testing. Essentially you're trying to share an idea with someone, and maybe you have a little sort of storyboard that you've drawn out, or sometimes I'll have people play test, like act out how a concept is actually going to work. Like one of my clients is thinking about uh, change to the civic engagement process that they have, or that they had. And so we actually walked through, okay, people are going to walk into the office, then they're going to pick up the form, then where are they going to go to fill it out, right? You actually can walk through things and quickly find gaps. And but also engage in a way that isn't just noodling with your mind on a computer, right? Especially when we're developing services, processes, it can be so powerful and really inform what we're thinking about to move through, or pretend that we're moving through the things that we're going to try. It's also scary. A lot of the software teams that I work with, I say, all right, like make a mock-up, make a visual, go find two people to talk to. The stakes can suddenly feel really high, but that's good. It means you care about what you're doing, and it means that you are interested in what you're going to learn, right? And I know people
Mhm.
can get, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just behind you.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes I see people get kind of bogged down in concern about bias and is the right person running the prototype, this or that. I think whenever people put up barriers to prototyping, I just encourage them to lower the stakes. So prototype something smaller, talk to more people, get more people doing it. Because often I feel that when we are stopping or trying to stop ourselves from prototyping, what's actually happening is we're afraid of the feedback. Better to get the feedback and just start kind of seeing what you learn out there. And this is also pulling from lean entrepreneurship as well, which I think has some great tools for us. But I want to, if it's okay, Maggie, show two more little slides that talk about
Oh,
where,
thank
yeah,
you.
where prototyping fits in. Cool. Um, so we were looking at Damian Newman's design squiggle. He also on his website, I think does a great job of pointing out where the design process kind of lands on the design squiggle. And so you've got research in this kind of squiggly part, but your concept testing, your prototyping is also squiggly here in this image. And so I really like that. Like, yes, when you're concept testing, you might have more of an idea of the problem space you're working in. You might have a design brief, but you're still testing things. You're still maybe making sure that you're hitting all of the needs of all the different stakeholder groups, or that you know which needs are most important to hit. So there's that one. There's also, just from a like prototyping timeline, this is one that my colleague at Staircase Strategy put together. We have a method that we use that we call Minerva, Goddess of Wisdom. Um, and we like to kind of work in phased learning cycles. And so this is one in which, there's, what do we have here? 4 kind of sessions working with a team where we're doing research, we're framing the problem, we're kind of understanding what people need. Then right away, this is the 5th week, basically. Now we're only in month 2. Now we're prototyping. We are already putting things out into the world. We're not researching endlessly. Of course, there's going to be more research we want to do along the way. This isn't to say abandon research. It's to say, how quickly can you take the assumptions you're starting to develop within what you're learning in the research and put them out into the world to see if you're on the right track or not. So early validation of hypotheses, of value propositions, of kind of underlying assumptions about what people want. Right in this kind of 3rd chunk, you're going on to continuing to prototype, right? So this is mid-fidelity, smaller number of concepts that you're getting out into the world. And then in this last chunk of time, you're kind of honing in on a concept to move forward to maybe production or whatever the next phase might be. And then the last thing that I would show is, this is kind of just another, to me, version of the same, but I think of this as a much more explicit learning loop format, where you start with your research. What are my methods? What am I testing? What do I have to learn? And then you measure, you report, and you take an action. That might be changing your prototype. That might be doing more research. That might be talking to some other stakeholders. But you're going to do a bunch of little rapid loops of this. And then you're going to have a bigger, IBM folks call this a playback, reflect on what was learned, iterate on what to do next, identify your next round of development. Are we going to go this way or that way? And I love, again, this idea of expectation setting around the unknown. Like, we can have a framework in which to encounter the unknown.
Yeah.
Right. And so it can help our clients, it can help our teams, it can help us as we move through this